guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. I'm back here at BMW of Tampa, and guess what? We have that full-size performance SUV standing right next to me. This is it. This is a 2022 BMW X7 M50i. But before we get into this super-size, super powerful SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. BMW. They've been doing the business in the auto industry since 1933, if you could believe that. But before that, they made motorcycles and airplanes and airplane engines. But since 1933, really laid down the road work for making an iconic brand. Now, obviously, it's always been about BMW sedans, BMW coupes and sports cars, so many championships. They even dabbled in Formula One. But you know what? 21st century, what really sells, and sells in a big way, are SUVs, and BMW decided to enter that full-size SUV segment. Now, the X7 has been around for a few years. There's been some mild changes here and there, but is this the luxury SUV to buy over some of the longer staying mainstays in this segment? Ideally, the Lincoln Navigator and the Cadillac Escalade. So I want to get into this M50i, talk about its performance, talk about what it brings to the luxury table, but find out, is it the better luxury SUV than the mighty Cadillac Escalade? Let's go ahead, dive in, and find out what our 2022 X7. Right off the bat, the style. Even though this is super size, you're getting that traditional BMW style. Now, at the front of the business, you'll notice good size on the headlight housing, but nothing too obnoxious. On the interior, you're getting those BMW laser lights. Watch out, they might zap you. I love the daytime running lamps, especially the way they did that signature halo design. And then, of course, you're gonna get the turn signals as well. Dropping down, I hope you like functionality, because you're getting massive corner openings that are gonna bring nice cool air into the heat exchangers, and a side air curtain, and you have full LED fog lamps. Love this satin steel finish look that they have around the air curtain. A little bit of gloss black, but nothing too crazy. And BMW always does a great job, no matter what the vehicle, on how they extend that lower front fascia so that there's not a bunch of stuck-on appendages to increase aerodynamic efficiency. Now, as we come across that massive grille, even though this is a massive SUV, I really feel like the grills on the 3 Series, like the M3 and the M4, are larger than this vehicle. But that kidney shape fits it pretty well. You do have a forward-facing camera, which is a nice touch. And like I said, this satin steel finish with the vertical slots. You do have active aero that's gonna open and close. And I've always liked how they do the hood design, and it kind of just comes to a nice point there. Now, dropping down, you do have some gloss black. Looks good, brand new. Not sure how it's gonna look down the road, but you have more functionality, and I like the way they took this lower lip and it extended down. Another little design feature I've always liked about BMWs is this lower grille area is almost like separate from the rest of the front fascia. Really gives it a nice identity. Now, when you get up onto that massive hood, what do we got? A massive BMW badging. Flavor Flav would be proud to hang this around his neck instead of that clock. That's how large it is. But you do have those clean German lines, everything going right towards the windshield. We come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. Just like this SUV is big, we got some big wheels and tires. What are we looking at? These are 22-inch wheels. So 22-inch wheel, love the machined aluminum, that gunmetal metallic gray, the BMW badge in the center. Look at those calipers. They're the size of ice skates. That's how large those calipers are. Nice metallic blue with the M badge. Now, this is not a true M vehicle, but being an M50i, it does bring extra performance, not only underneath the hood, but also when it comes to braking capability. Massive rotors, the size of a supersized pumpkin, with those rotors fully ventilated, and we have air suspension. That's also gonna help with the overall ride quality and handling. Adaptive dampers, all 4 corners. This is technology learned from the racetracks and brought to your street-going vehicles like this X7. Love the way they paint that beautiful pearlescent white all the way around the fender opening. And as we come around, you do have this side fender vent. My only zonk is it's not functional, but I do like the way they flare out that satin steel look. And look at the body line, how it just drops down and goes along the bottom of the door with that trim all the way back. Almost looks like a big hockey stick. But anyways, that really helps with the style from the side. Nice satin steel look on your mirror caps. You're gonna have 360-degree cameras. The good news about this SUV, it's not as large as an Escalade, and I kind of like that. And I really like some of the nice curves that this has compared to the more blocky transformer design of a robot that the Escalade is. Now up top, we do have these gloss black raised roof rails, gloss black around the trim, both top and bottom, color matched mirror caps, and you can see those body lines really shows motion, even though there's no motion here. Now the great news is, looking at the back with these rear tires, you're looking at 315. 315 on the width of these rear tires. That's as wide as my Shelby GT350R's rear tires, and you're still gonna get substantial brakes in the back. And like I said, that X drive on an X7, you got X drive, get the power to the ground, all four wheels. Coming around the back, what do we got? We got a nice, simple, clean design. I wish it had a little bit longer roof spoiler, just something that kind of extended out a little bit more. That way we would be able to get rid of this rear wiper, because that would just really make the back super sexy. But I love the M badge. Like I said, not a true M car, but you are getting more performance. M50i. There's that satin steel look with the X7 badge. And then dropping it like it's hot all the way to the bottom. Nice, simple simulated rear diffuser. You do have those massive exhaust outlets. And guess what? They're actually hiding dual pipes, not just single pipes. So you have quad pipes, 2 pipes on each end, on each side, and then you got the decorative trim ring. But why don't we go ahead, we're talking about power. Let's pop the hood and see what's powering this X7. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hydraulic hood struts. Now, what's interesting, comparing this to the Escalade does have a V8. You could get that 6.2 liter with 426 horsepower, but guess what? We have a V8 under here, but things are a little different. Check it out. Sexy engine compartment. You can see all the bracing that they have, and I'm telling you right now, that engine cover is just doing things to me in a very, very good way. Love the M Performance badge. Love that BMW logo. But what we're looking at underneath that plastic cover, you're looking at a twin turbo V8. So 4.4 liter twin turbo V8, 523 horsepower, 553 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a ZF 8-speed automatic transmission, 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds with that all-wheel drive. Obviously, gonna have that quicker performance than the Escalade. The vehicle weighs 5,700 pounds. MPGs, 15 in the city, 21 on the highway. And this is the nice thing, is that if you want your naturally aspirated power, you could go that route with an Escalade. If you go this route though, with the M50i, you're getting smaller displacement, but the addition of twin turbos. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this M50i and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, here we are in this 2022 BMW X7 M50i. I know you're seeing yourself, well, Joe, I've been looking at your full-size SUVs. I've been really focusing in on the two, like you said, Escalade and Navigator. I thought about the Grand Wagoneer, but I'm gonna pass on that one. But I am liking the style and the performance of this X7 M50i. How much is it? So MSRP for the way that this one is optioned is right around $105,695. Let's see what you get for the money to the door panel. So you have two-tone material, nice dark tan with the black. I love the soft top touch up top. You do have 2 memory seat settings, which are great, and you also have massage seat settings, which are even better. Harman Kardon sound system, a little bit of wood finish, and then if you look closely with that silver trim, there's that ambient lighting that's gonna shine through that you could change every which way from Roy G. Biv. Door pocket is very large, very unique shape though. So maybe when you go to Jimmy John's, you're gonna have to be creative with what size subs you put in there, but you should at least be able to put 2 Jimmy John subs in there and a bottle of Surge or Jolt Cola to wash it all down. Now going from the door panel to the dash, same high luxury feel. Look at the stitch work, soft touch material, more of that nice open pore wood and ambient lighting, and it all flows nicely right into this guy right here. What are we looking at? We're looking at a 12.3 inch digital display for your infotainment. It's got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, navigation. It's got obviously the hand gesturing movements that you could do to make adjustments. Touch screen, of course. You go right to home. You could go into your car settings. And what's awesome is that they actually have a white M50i. There's those functional massive vents on both sides. Let me show you also, you could change the modes. So this is comfort, nice balance setting. We could go into sport. My favorite part is, watch this, Sport Plus. Racetrack time. That's gonna give us the most performance. And you also, like I said, you adjust all of the parameters of suspension, the whole 9 yards. You go into vehicle status, we could check tire pressure, engine oil, all that good stuff. We got the A-OK, it's green just like the Incredible Hulk. And then we're right back to where it started. So very nicely done. I'm gonna throw it into reverse. Super clear on the resolution. 360-degree camera. You got automated parking, backup assistance. We could go into camera and just check and make adjustments to contrast, the whole 9 yards, and then you're right back to where you started. Easy peasy. Look at this. You have that TFT digital display with your dual climate temperature readouts. Of course, we're gonna have ventilated seats and heated seats. Slim and trim on the radio controls. More of that open pore wood and ambient lighting. And then watch this, you ready? Boom! Wireless charging, 2 cup holders, a USB, and a place for about 10 atomic fireballs. No joke. That's how many you could put in there. And then you just close it up. 1, 2, 3, look at that. This is gonna control that ZF 8-speed automatic. We got, of course, the iDrive controller with the latest software. There are our buttons, start, stop, and, start, stop of the engine. And you have your different modes, which are very nice. Plus you could raise and lower your X7 all by the flip of a switch. Very tastefully done. Look at this nice soft. You ready for the Bombay doors? Bombs away! So what do we got in here? You got some felt lining. You could put your iPhone 47, not gonna get scratched, and a USB. Close it up, seats. Leather, I wanna thank all the cows out there, those German cows. Thank you. Look at the beautiful stitch work. Nice soft material, the bolstering, ventilated, heated, and of course you got all that electric assistance for the passenger and the driver. And we have that massive panoramic sunroof. Goes all the way back, even for the third row passengers. But why don't you get your butt over here? I want to show you behind this beautiful M leather wrapped steering wheel and our X7. All right, guys, we're in this high-end luxury SUV with performance. Come on into the business end. I love the way you're greeted by this very tasteful aluminum sill plate with the M50i badge that's gonna light up LED at night. And then check out the footbox, right out of a BMW race car. Nice large dead pedal, brake, and throttle, all aluminum trim, which is gonna be super nice just to look at, let alone feel. And then you got your seat controls. Of course, you're gonna have 2 memory seat settings, and like I also mentioned, they are massage seats. I got plenty of room in here, and I'm wrapped in leather, Alcantara everywhere, even on the headliner. And then look at this steering wheel. BMW does a fantastic steering wheel. Heated wheel, of course, with the heated wheel button right there. And then, of course, you're gonna have some nice aluminum finish, the M badging, thick 10 and 2 notches, beautiful stitch work on that horn. So much history on that BMW badge. Paddles, pretty good size. I just wish they were metal, so I am gonna zonk these. They would be nice to be metal in a $105,000 SUV. Electric tilt and telescoping steering wheel. And then you got that 12-inch digital display with all your information that you need, nicely laid out. And you have a head-up display, which is super sized as well. But why don't we go ahead? We talked about how great it is up here. Let's get into that mid-row and see how your passengers are gonna enjoy this X7. All right, guys, here we are in the mid-row. And the great news is your passengers are gonna have a ton of room. Like I said, lots of nice natural light could be brought in from that massive size panoramic sunroof. Here's some of the touches you're gonna get that I love. I think it's so smart the way they have AC vents right in the frame rail for the mid-row passengers, but there's also another set. You have soft touch material, USB-C, conveniently placed so you don't have wires hanging everywhere. Nice size rear seat pocket, large enough to where you could put 2 German size cinnamon rolls back here. And if you don't know what German size is, the reason why I pointed out, it's 10 inches in diameter. Put 2 of those back there. Another thing that's super size is gonna be this command center. Rear AC, heated seats, but no ventilated seats. And that to me is a zonk, but I do like the dual climate control. Nice, easy adjustment. You have plenty of room here for about 15 Tootsie Rolls, USB-Cs on the bottom, and a 12 volt. I got plenty of leg room over here. And another thing I wanna point out is new for 2022, there's some switchgear back here that makes life a little easier. On last year's model, I would manually have to lift the security shade. Not anymore. You just push the button, it rises up, and you have all your switchgear right here. I want it to go down. Watch this. Goes right down. I could even control the sunroof, the panoramic sunroof shade, which, look at that. I don't have to bother the driver. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I want it back again. Do it yourself. That's what you can tell your kids. They say, Mom, can you open the sunshade? Do it yourself. We spent the money, we got the extra technology. Speaking of technology, good old-fashioned armrest. Hard as an old German scone sitting in the sun, but the good news is, open it up, you got felt lining to put Skittles, and the great news is, your kids can look at the rainbow as they taste the rainbow. Talk about living their best life, right? Open up the cup holder, 2 cup holders. Oh, you gotta have to do that to put it back. Almost forgot. Flap that down. And then on top of that, instead of manual seats, you actually have electric assist. So the buttons are on the side for your passengers behind the driver. I have my own buttons here on my side, and you can see just how much movement. Watch this, you ready? Oh yeah. So you can tilt it back, we could tilt it up. Real nice to have that electric assist. Back when I was a kid, you couldn't even move the rear seats. You just had to sit there just like you were. But let's go ahead, let's get in the third row and see how this X7 competes with the mighty Escalade. All right guys, where in the world is Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides? He is in this third row of the X7. Now, if you're comparing this to the Escalade, this is where the Escalade is gonna win, hands down. I literally, to be able to fit back here, had to move this seat all the way forward. And you could see that, yeah, I have some room, but my knees are too high, especially compared to the new Escalade, which has that updated independent rear suspension. Your rear passenger, that third row, their knees are gonna be much, much lower. The good news is, I got plenty of Alcantara to make up for it, nice and soft, and you have your own little sunroof back here. That really makes the third row passengers feel really loved at the end of the day. One thing that it's gonna be hard for Lori to show is that I actually have AC controls, heated seats on the third row, no ventilated seats, but here's another little fancy feature, watch this. You got tie down locations for seats, but you also have a USB-C underneath this nice lid, boom, ambient lighting and rear AC vents. So I mean, pretty good spoiling of the third row, but you're just gonna spoil the person in the Escalade a little bit more with room. Actually fancier back here in the third row than the Escalade, but not as much room. But let's go ahead, let's get into that cargo area and see what we could stuff in this X7. All right guys, tail on the business, obviously very important for people, especially going this big on an SUV. How much size do you have? So you're just gonna hit the button, nice electric assist, raises up. This has that split setup. So what's nice is that you could put some groceries in and this will hold everything in. But if you wanna drop the loading platform, you just hit that button, drops down nicely. Now what are we looking at? You're looking at around 13 cubic feet of space with those rear seats up. And if you look on the interior here, let me show you what's going on. We got all of our switch gear conveniently placed to fold down not only the third row, but also the second row. You got LED lighting on the passenger side. Look what we have here. You got more LED lighting, and of course we got a cargo net for a small box of Snickers. But let's show you how these seats fold down. It's actually quite simple. We're just gonna push and we're gonna wait a couple seconds. Look at that, right on cue. Don't you love when a plan comes together? And those are gonna fold down very nicely. Now you fold down that mid row, you'll have 90 cubic feet of space. Now the good news is you'll have 90 cubic feet of space. The bad news is not as much space as the Cadillac Escalade. Cadillac Escalade, you fold everything down, it has over 100 cubic feet of space. But why don't we go ahead, I'm gonna get this all sorted back here, but if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go on throttle in our X7 M50i. All right guys, typical Florida weather. No matter what time of the year, it could rain at any given notice, but you know what? That's okay, because we got all-wheel drive, even though we got all this power, and I'm ready to merge on the highway on throttle. Here we go. Unbelievable just how effectively this thing not only produces power, but gets the power to the ground. Very fast shifts, faster shifting than the 10-speed in the Cadillac Escalade, and definitely more power. Even with the twin turbo setup, I'm actually quite impressed with how linear the torque delivery is. That's what makes it even more amazing, is that you're not waiting for the boost to come in. Now, being a BMW, especially the X7, you're getting some awesome sound deadening material, the thickness of the acoustic glass. All of that is gonna create a very serene environment, and you're getting just a hint of that V8 roar. Nothing too crazy. A couple pops here and there, but that's about it. Getting to the infotainment system with the hand gesture movements, very easy to do. As you can see, Florida drivers just out of control, especially in the wet, like why oh why. But the leather seats are so comfortable, especially with massage, head-up display, and tons of visibility. Really, really that good. All right, guys, on throttle, dead stop, here we go. Not even a hint, not even a whimper of traction loss from this X-Drive system in the X7 M50i. And I'm telling you right now, you're gonna embarrass Navigator and Escalade owners that are trying to get to football practice first, because this X7, it really is a powerhouse, yet has all these fine finishes, the wood, the technology. I guess the only thing that's really hurting are the people in the third row compared to the competition. All right, guys, we're gonna make a U-turn here, show off how simple that is. Just gotta be careful, make sure people are paying attention, but easy peasy lemon squeezy on throttle. Here we go. This thing is ridiculous. For a vehicle that as big as this one is, with the amenities, but yet can just fire off the shifts so rocket fast. Handling is superb. Even in the wet, the confidence is there, and it just shows how they bring all that technology to the table, all that engineering to the table for you, so that you could have really that ultimate driving experience that BMW is known for. But going down the highway, even over these concrete expansions, it's such a smooth, complacent ride, and really just inspires confidence. It really, really does, no matter what the weather is doing. But hopefully this gave you a nice overall feel about what the X7 M50i brings to the table. We're gonna get back to BMW Tampa and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been one heck of a day here at BMW Tampa. I definitely gotta thank Alex and the rest of the team getting us access to this 2022 BMW X7 on top of that M50i. Maybe not as much interior room as a Cadillac Escalade, but boy, oh boy, what's underneath that hood definitely has an advantage. Let me know what you think. Are you going BMW style, that German Euro style with your full-size SUV? Or are you gonna go more the Escalade route? Put it in the comment section, I'm dying to know. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raity's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Raity's Rides merch. Got to give out to the queen of the camera. It's windy, it's rainy, but you know what? The show must go on. Best in the biz. Hashtag best in the biz. Put that in the comment section for Lori because she is the best. Thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.